Hey guys, welcome back. Thank you for tuning in. This is the week 8 update. Some of you guys saw my Instagram story about how I ended up in the ER. So I want to add some context to what happened over the weekend, making matters some more interesting. It was my birthday weekend, which is the second time that I've had some, I won't say it's bad luck, but things happen on my birthday that has caused me a lot of tremendous pain. So second time, third time's a charm. So I'm going to kind of cover what happened. I'm going to cover what I think the cause is. I'm going to cover currently how I'm feeling, and then lastly, plan of action. So you can skip ahead to those points if you like. I always like hearing stories about people going through the same situation, so provide some context to everybody. For 7 weeks, if you guys have been following along, I've been basically running my own back recovery program, implementing a lot of the strategies from some of the best doctors in the field for non-surgical intervention, and I was definitely seeing some progress. Pain levels when medication was not present was, I don't want to say it was manageable, but it was lower than definitely when I had first hurt myself 7-8 weeks ago. With the pain medication, it had dropped it to very, very manageable levels of just overall sensation and recovery. So I felt like we were definitely making some good progress. And for me, I'm an A-type personality, so I'm always trying to push the agenda. Unfortunately, in this situation, I think this is what also bites me in the ass a lot in my life. So without further ado, going into week 7 was feeling pretty good. On Wednesday, I did a chest day or a push day. For any of you who work with me, push-pull splits are my jam. Did a push day, very concentrated on not trying to jump back into anything that was going to cause any tension or pain to my lower back. I was just trying to stimulate the muscle tissue. Felt like I had a pretty good workout. Definitely was sore the next day. I took a full 24-hour break, and then I went in for legs on Friday. Movements that I wanted to select were leg extensions, standing ham curls, seated leg press, but in a way that my back was completely 90 degrees and everything is being done unilaterally or single leg. So not to put too much pressure and just really concentrate on high repetitions, low weight. I think I finished that day with some reverse lunges. I was feeling good. I didn't feel like I was in a lot of pain. I feel like everything was comparable to when I did my push day. Drive home. I recently got a inversion table, and I wanted to do some decompression after I trained. And I'm still kind of getting used to the different degrees of inversion. So like full inversion obviously is like the most extreme that you could go. And I went to the most extreme version, as I do, and I don't feel like I found a pop, but I definitely got like a little chiropractic, almost like adjustment type of sensation in my hip/back. I didn't think too much of it. I know it didn't feel great, but I was like, ooh, that one maybe not have been the trick. So I get off the inversion table, and since that situation, so either the legs, it's hard to say, or the inversion table was, the pain was catastrophic is the best way I can describe it. Not immediately after. It wasn't like an acute thing. It was like progressively as the day went on Friday. It was nightmarishly painful. So much so that I contacted my GP and was like, hey, listen, I think I'm having a flare up. If you guys can provide anything stronger anti-inflammatory wise, that would be a massive help. So they prescribed some prednisone, which I started taking. And then that Friday night, with the prednisone, with the diclofenac, with the gabapentin, I think I was able to sleep maybe 2 hours that night, just constantly in motion. Like still, even right now, I don't feel like my ability to walk is an issue. It's just being able to sit down or relax is, Friday, Saturday, Sunday has been impossible. The pain is, it's almost like you want to saw your leg off. In this case, it would be like my left leg. It was wrapping around to the front of my leg, the entirety of my hip, my hamstring, and then my calf. And I was starting to get that like tingling numbness sensation down into my toes. So absolutely brutal pain. Made it to Saturday, and then Saturday night, I think around 5 a.m., I was like, I gotta go to the hospital. It's just, nobody can live like this. We have to do something. So went to the hospital, got a shot of Toradol in my glute, and then I got Toradol tablets. I got a stronger dose of prednisone, and I upped my dose of gabapentin, and that really shot the pain level down a lot, like just to manageable levels. Like, I'm always going to be in pain for the night. I've accepted that there's going to be some pain associated to the recovery process over the, whatever, it's 3 months, 6 months, a year. I understand that, but this pain was ridiculous. So fast forward to Sunday night, new pain management, or new pills in the works. They're usually in like 6-hour increments. So I took it 6, was able to sleep till 1. Took the medication again around 1 a.m., went for a 15-minute walk, waited for the pills to kick in at 1 a.m., came home, laid on the ice pack upstairs, and then was able to kind of conk out till around 7, again, kind of following the 6-7 hour time span when the medicine kicks off. So that's where we're at. Also, fun fact, obviously the angle is different than how I normally do this. That's because sitting, still not really in the cards for me right now, but at least when I'm laying in a prone position or on my back, it's not as aggressive. So it's very manageable now with the new pain medication that we're on currently. So that's it. That's what happened. Cause, as you can probably gather, is me jumping too quickly into hypertrophy. I'm super focused on, or at least I was super focused on wanting to maintain all the hard work and muscle tissue that I put on over the past 2 years, specifically catered toward bodybuilding, where you push your weight up super aggressively, you cut down, you got your new physique, you look great, you feel great, push weight up again, you cut down, and you're kind of always increasing the benchmark of how good your physique looks. So for me to go through an acute injury and then just throw in the towel and let all my gains basically go to shit has been a very hard pill to swallow, and I didn't really want to let go. But I mean, after Friday, it's just like I'm more than happy to let that go in favor of being able to move optimally. So it's going to have to be on the back burner. I don't intend to actually do any type of training with weights, probably for at least 6 months to a year, if I had to guess what was going on. How I feel, physically and mentally. Physically, like I said, it's with the pain management pills and prescriptions that we're using, it drops it to somewhat manageable levels right now. There's no way I could obviously work at this stage right now. I'm obviously doing everything online. That's still a possibility. And then mentally, it's just, it's anybody who has had chronic pain understands that it's just as much physical as it is mental. It's what you want to do is crippled just like your body is, unfortunately, during the moment. So that's kind of how we are operating on that front. I'm trying to hold it together as best I can. Plan of action is I'm looking for outside assistance in terms of like specialists in the area who are full on within the program of trying to go the non-surgical route. I think for me to do my due diligence as a coach for everybody, not just for back injuries, but everything that I've done through in my life, I've always had an interest of doing it myself before I offer coaching and provide coaching. So I got into bodybuilding so I could create and transform physiques holistically and create something that you couldn't do on your own. So for me to never step on stage, or for me not to be successful in the sport, was never an issue, or not something that I couldn't even fathom. I have to try it before I can then offer that type of service. So I think this is an opportunity for me to work with somebody who is maybe a higher level than I am, and then I can bring that back into my coaching. Obviously, the expense side is something that we'll have to weigh up our options on. I'm playing it by feel for the week. If I feel like I can jump into a program, I'll do that, but I also have to be realistic and start looking at potential surgical options as well. Don't want to go down that road, but it's more like if I can shorten the time in rehab, I can get back to doing what I need to do, which is coaching people in person, expanding my online business, just being able to do day-to-day tasks, play with my son, be a better husband, things like that. I'm really trying to streamline my approaches, I'm sure, as the audience is as well. I'm sure you guys want to get back to being where you were before all this fun stuff started. So that's my plan of action. Obviously, I want to go the non-surgical route, but I got to be realistic with my time span. If this is going to be a full year of recovery, then so be it. But what am I willing to sacrifice in order to get that done needs to be weighed and measured accordingly. So thank you for tuning in. That's the update for week 8. Maybe more emotional than my past videos, but I think if you're passionate about something, you're definitely gonna have emotion driven behind it. So that's it from Dragon. Aus.